Meeting to order. We have a resolution number 45-25. Be it resolved that the meeting be convened at 7 PM with Mayor Ray Murad in the chair. Moved by.
Mike,
Seconded by.
Bill,
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Do a roll call. Muirhead present, Kalanoich present, Ray present, Sudak present, Youth Councillor Boganis present, all present and accounted for. Read this resolution, the adoption of agenda, resolution number 46-25, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of March 11th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Moved by.
Bill,
Seconded by.
Terry,
Debbie. Any additions, deletions? Hearing, seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Excuse me. For the adoption of the minutes, we have resolution number 47-25, be it resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of February 11th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Moved by.
Mike,
Seconded by.
Debbie.
Debbie. Any errors or omissions? Having seen none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We are at the delegations portion of the meeting and we have Golden West Broadcasting again. Welcome. So, yeah, you're the first and floor is yours.
Perfect. So, yeah, I already did an introduction. Don't think I need to do it again.
Yeah.
However, as I kind of, we talked about preface, we want to keep this sort of light, like a conversation. Everything that we do is, laid out for the client's benefits. And we want to make sure that it fits in line with some of the ways that you're looking to grow your community and get the word out about, obviously what it's like to live here in Carberry.
Yeah.
And the tourism around it. And so I'm going to leave Everett to speak on some stuff. We'll answer some questions. We will go through this at a speedy pace, understanding that you guys do have a timeline. We don't need to be here all evening. But if at any point there are questions, clarification needed, or you just want to dig into something, absolutely jump right in and interrupt.
Just as a housekeeping thing, we usually allow, 15 minutes
Yeah.
for presentations, so just keeping everybody, so yeah, go ahead.
You guys all have copies of this. It's the same one that we presented to Kara.
Yeah.
We showed her based on meeting with her. We got an understanding that town of Carberry wants to grow with the community and businesses that are here, that you guys are a growing community and you want to keep up that momentum. And that you've been seeing a younger demographic has been coming to Carberry in greater numbers and you want to be ready and prepared for what's to come in the future here. If any of those don't sound right, please let us know. I will continue though.
Oh, sounds good.
So some of the objectives that we saw were promoting the town of Carberry, promoting the local events, and then supporting growth and development. We had a few slides on market research, just showing average monthly searches for a few different towns that were more comparable. We're not going to compare things to Winnipeg or to Brandon. We're going to look for ones that are closer to the size and age demographics and stuff like that. And we saw that on average, Carberry is getting around 1,000 average monthly searches. There's a couple of others that are below there as well. And then others like Swan River, Dauphin, Selkirk, Neepawa, Gimli, and of course, Forest Prairie are up from there as well. This just shows that people are looking for these different places and there's a lot of opportunity there to take some of that, whether it's tourism, whether it's food and restaurants, so on, anything like that.
quick question.
Yeah.
That market research, is that just for people searching up the name Carberry or is that for actual, so that could be anybody looking for like the hours of the rink or the dump?
Yeah, we did talk to Kara about that a little bit, that obviously it would be skewed a little bit this time of year. I myself had a kid who had a tournament here in Carberry
Yeah.
this year, and so that would be probably common as we'd see an uptick during the
Oh, wait.
the winter months.
I didn't know if it was like keywords like on like MLS Carberry or whatever, like.
Yeah,
okay,
I think we take versions of that as well,
Right.
to condense it down, and that's how we came up with these numbers. This would be also an average looking over the course of the last 12 months.
Right,
not
cool.
simply through the last month.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we look at that so we can see trends instead of just looking at a specific month where, oh, yeah, this looks really good, or wow, that looks really bad. So it pulls that trend data out. And we just kind of showed the steps that different consumers or people take in their journey from not knowing anything about it to doing something about it, whether it's buying, coming here to tour, coming here to check stuff out, so on like that, making sure they're aware of it, moving into, can they find out more information about it? Can they find you easily when they search Carberry? Does that show up? Some businesses, some towns, they don't. And that's where we kind of really step in with that as well. But making sure people are aware that they can find it and that you have a good reputation with that. If they come here and your businesses are cruel or mean to them, for example,
Yeah.
they won't want to come back. But you have a lot of great businesses that are very friendly, people will want to come. And not just that, but if they come to the town office, are they greeted well? Are they treated well? That sort of customer service side that seems to impact every part of life now. And when people get to the point where they like that, they like you, they'll buy from you.
Yeah.
They'll come to you. They'll keep coming. If they like the product, they like the service, whatever it might be. And then they'll become advocates for that as well, spreading it to friends and family. But it all starts with awareness. People need to know what's going on. And basically just pumping up that word of mouth is really what radio is. And I got some stats on that as well as we continue.
Yeah, and so those are the building blocks, not that you have to go back, those are the building blocks that we utilize to put together a good marketing plan. We want to ensure that it's working every step of the way, and so we want to ensure that it's not just the awareness piece, but we really dig in and work with our clients to ensure that it's follow through into the, I mean, we're gonna call it conversion, but if we're trying to draw up tourism or increase, obviously growth here in this area, we want to follow up on those pieces as well.
This just shows the guaranteed coverage maps that we have for the FM. And then the AM on the side there. You guys have seen this in the presentations there, but the two FM stations, they do have quite a wide area. Guaranteed down to St. Claude and then just north of Westburn, kind of going up into the lake there. People can get it beyond this. This is just a guaranteed. Things like weather or poor radios in your car, other stuff like that can start to affect. Of course, the further away you get from it. We've talked a little bit about Seafry. It covers a huge area, down to Winkler, all the way north of Dauphin, all the way to the other side of Brandon, all the way to the other side of Winnipeg. And because it's such an old one, it's sort of this like legacy, like my grandparents listened to it, my parents
Yeah.
listened to it, so on. And so we've seen that continue down through. Yeah, we came up with a broadcast plan, just kind of talks a little bit about commercials airing on Seafry. That way we get the widest reach as much as possible. Running Monday to Friday, and that runs 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we just wanted to mention that the content can be changed. So it's not like you're stuck with one ad or one, whatever it might be.
Right.
This new event that comes up, it can be changed to match that. If you have different, things going on, incentives for different businesses to build residential areas, you can change to match what you guys currently need for that. And just some of the events, these had changed when we had last seen Kara. They may come back, they may change, but you guys have events happening pretty much every month. And so those were just some of the things that I was highlighting with her to say, hey, you know, we can totally do stuff for that as well. And then Portage Online, we have a massive reach with this one.
Yeah.
Average monthly users of 111,000. With 1.1 million average monthly page views, which is phenomenal. And the great thing as well is you can look at those numbers and say how much are coming back. On a daily basis, 80% of the audience is returning every day, which is wild. So it's a great place to definitely do that. As we mentioned before, people are going there for news, for sports. People are clicking through these ads. We have reporting data for all that. We come and bring it to people. And that's one thing that most businesses, not-for-profits and different government agencies really like, is seeing how those numbers translate, especially with their online reach there. And just a sort of brief idea, this is just what Portage Online looks like. There's a couple different types of ad spots that are on there. The main ones that we're seeing is a banner spot that goes across there. I just have it gray there just to show you where it is.
Yep.
And then this is, of course, on PC. And then there's a spot on the right side. We call it Big Box. That's where you can put stuff in there, and then it can link back to a website, to a social page, wherever you want it to go. Anytime someone clicks it, they'll go there. And then on mobile, as people scroll through past sports or news stories, there will be ads that are interjected in there as well that they can scroll past, they can click on. Same idea, just for mobile.
Yeah.
5 minutes? Okay. This kind of just highlights a little bit about what I said there. Investment summary is kind of the breakdown there for running on Seafry. Because you guys are not-for-profit, you get a buy one, get one rate that we have. It's our not-for-profit rate. So if you buy one commercial, you get one. So running 3 30-second commercials per day at the not-for-profit rate, which for not, is $41 for every spot. And then you get an extra 3 30-second commercials per day for free on that.
Okay,
And we're looking at, for this Monday to Sunday between 6 AM to 6 PM. Over the course of the 12 months, total ads 2,184. And investment for that is 44,772, with the value being at 89,544, so half that.
Yep.
And then Portage Online valued at 30,000, big box ads, it is based on impressions, so every time a set of eyes looks at it, that counts as an impression, and then we also will have a click-through rate that we can bring when we report back to you. Looking at 1.2 million ad impressions over the course of the entire year. And there is a rate as well that you guys get where you can get an extra 300,000 impressions for that too.
Okay.
And it's $15 for every 1,000 impressions. We believe this will help reach that tourism, those businesses, those people who you guys are looking to bring here.
Okay.
And the investment for that, with 5 sponsored news stories telling about your town, telling about what's going on, telling about events, whatever it is, sponsored news stories are really good. People can read through it, they can see pictures, you can have links in there for more information on what you're talking about. A lot of people love it and they like reading it.
Okay.
And so that with the impressions for the big box ads, investment is 21,750, totaling 66,522 plus GST. Average monthly investment is 5543 plus GST. And so, yeah, that was the first one. And then I also had another one here as well. It's, and
Done.
so there was a lesser version of that as well, a little bit less impressions and, instead of Monday to Sunday, bring it down Monday to Friday. The same amount of 3 ads per day plus 3 at a BOGO rate, and then just a lesser impressions, so.
So it's just a question, so that's only on the AM, not the FM, because you're like, knowing like, I'm 40, so I'm not that young, but like, I'll never go on an AM radio. Like, you know, if I'm coming through or whatever, like, I won't go on an AM radio, right? So.
Yeah, so that was, just for example, that was just on Seafry. You
Yeah.
can have 3 running on Seafry, 3 on an FM
Okay.
choice. If you guys are thinking, I know we don't really wanna do Seafry, you can do 2 FM. It works.
Okay.
Either way. We're pretty knowledgeable when it comes to stuff like that. And, yeah, he just pulled up the alternative one as well. Same idea as Seafry. Of course, it can be changed to an FM if you want. 3 30-second commercials, even days, 3 on the odd days, Monday to Sunday, 6 AM to 6 PM. Total ads 1,092, investment 22,386, and then Portage Online, big box ad instead of that 1+ million, coming down to 600,000 with an extra 150,000 on top. 3 news stories instead of the 5. Total investment for that is 11,250. And then total investment for both radio and Portage Online, 33,636, average monthly 2,800 plus GST.
Yeah, that's our reasoning for CFR was reach, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I just wanted to ask, right? Like, yeah.
So our prices are interchangeable.
Okay.
If you wanna know the exact breakdown, it's 41 per spot, and 5 would cover.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like if someone didn't have satellite, you know, they're coming down Highway 1, you know, flipping through the stations. You know,
Yes.
they lose one or whatever, like Winnipeg, the next one they're gonna hit is Portage, right?
Yeah.
And the next one they're gonna hit is, you know, Brandon, whatever, right, as you go along the highway.
Absolutely.
Those was aspects.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, you got anything more, Mike, or
No, that was just, yeah, kind of with the radio station, yeah.
anything, Will?
No,
Grady?
yeah, sorry, we got these things here.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I like the
Yeah.
sounds of it because a lot of people around, especially in the agricultural, they always are looking on there to see what the prices are and all that stuff. It's been around, like you say, for years. I think my grandpa used to listen to Seafry radio. That's what he used to do. But, yeah, it sounds good and it will definitely increase our reach. We have to talk about it on our side. We're coming up to budget deliberations. We're gonna see what we got. And then we have to also understand, it'll probably go through Kara and the Economic Development Office. And she has her budget, so between us, I mean, we'll talk about this. It's definitely interesting. There's no doubt about it.
And you're Mr. Portage Online.
I've listened to Portage on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, anything we can do, we have our newsletter, which is quarterly. John, our reporter, does that. We lost our Carver News Express paper several years ago.
Yes.
And we relied heavily on that. That's how everybody got their information.
Mhm.
So if we decide to do something like this and go on a different, then, you know, we can advertise on our Facebook, you know, hey, everybody listen to C Fry and all that. I mean, there's all kinds of ways and means, but it's definitely interesting, I think. You guys think it's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say that the side of this, you know, this is like the first conversation about having a partnership together, you know,
Yeah.
I need, as a business owner, like, I wanna have long-term work with you guys, like, we want Portage Online to be the voice of Carberry, right?
Yeah.
And so that means regardless whether we strike a plan with dollars and cents, whether it's at the 30,000, 10,000, or 5,000 or $2,000 mark, we still want to have connection with you guys to ensure
Yeah.
that we're covering, you know, what council is covering, that we're helping get that word out, because we do know that local area residents are reading Portage Online, and so we want to ensure that we have good coverage in this area.
Yeah, well, sorry, well, there was one last question. I seen on the slide there and then thing, like for different events, so like we can call and be like, hey, we're having the fair this weekend or the fireman's breakfast or this tournament or
Okay.
whatever. And they'll come out like almost like how we call Star FM or whatever, would come out with the car and
Yeah, it would certainly depend. So in the summer, we do run what's known as summer events. So
Yeah, yeah.
we would have like additional staff on hand who travel out with a special decal station.
Car,
Yeah, and go out and broadcast live. Obviously, it would depend because during the summertime, there's high competition for lots of other things. However, if we do know in advance, like maybe there's like the 3 or 4 different events that you guys are gonna be hosting, I mean, we, of course, can, you know, allocate our staff accordingly to ensure that we're gonna be out here and cover it, because we do want to cover this region in a much better way than we have.
right, so it rolls in, this is my second part of my question. So like if you guys aren't available and you know, there is another station come out, like, is that a conflict like with the?
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to ask these questions, you know, say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have done, just to give a very brief example of that. So you might recall through the summer, there was the fires in Jasper National Park. So our radio station sort of spearheaded it, however, worked with all other radio stations within Alberta to raise $2.4 million for relief when it comes to Jasper. And so, yeah, we absolutely work well with others. We have a radiothon that's going on in early April for Stars Air Ambulance that is actually in partnership with other Manitoba radio stations as well. So, yeah, there's no, like.
I was making sure if someone called another station, you're like, what are they doing here? This is ours, you know what I mean? That's.
Yeah, no night fights. no,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
all good. No,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right.
Get along.
No tridents in the parking lot.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah.
I got that right.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
That
about.
was last week with
Yeah.
banquet.
Yeah, I hit that one and that one.
So, like we have a lot of sub boards and committees here, like we've probably 25, you know, Arts Council, library, that sort of stuff. I mean, they can always piggyback on as well, and
Of course.
we all get in there on that together. And just further to what you're saying, you ever want to set up a satellite radio station? Carberry, Manitoba.
Might be above my pay grade, but.
Just saying.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of farm community, a lot of potato growers, like any grain, cattle, you name it, they're always on there looking for prices and what the markets are doing and that, so.
Absolutely.
No, I think it's good. I think we're very interested. We will continue our talks here and then with Kara and see what we can come up with. And, if nobody else has any questions or comments, thank you very much for coming out and.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
I have one question. When would be a good time to follow up? Like, are you looking at a few weeks or like next month or?
That's a Grady thing. I don't know. We've been so busy the last little while meeting here and there and everybody else, so it's trying to fit it in somewhere.
Usually always a month.
Yeah, if you wanna
Yeah.
check, we'll see in March, like,
Okay.
touch base with Kara, we should have something.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little-
Yeah, Kara would be the go-to
Yeah,
person
a
on that,
little
so.
bit more for everybody. into the money.
Chance I could get business cards so that I got their names.
Oh, yes. I have mine. I don't know if you have.
I did bring cards.
The elusive general manager.
Sure.
Then, yeah, I guess while you guys are thinking about that, if you guys do have anything come up that you're like, okay, let's chat with them, see if there's anything we can do. Whether it is end of March or early April, just give us a shout. We can
Yeah.
let you know what it looks like. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting into some busy season now. The spring's around the corner and different things coming up, so
Yeah.
fundraising type stuff, that sort of thing, so.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, these people that do listen to Seafry sometimes aren't very savvy on the Facebook thing.
No.
Just saying.
I won't go into that.
Anyways, thank you two for
Yeah.
coming out.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it. So,
I'll trade my jacket for a spot. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye.
yeah. Okay, next on delegations, we have a Mr. Joel Penner, Cypress Planning District Development Officer.
Yes, sir.
You
Thank you very
met
much.
already, but,
Yeah, we met, no Grady, no Bill,
Okay.
yeah,
Debbie Ray.
Debbie Ray, pleased to meet you,
Mike Sudak.
pleased to meet you,
Christopher Boban's.
pleased to meet
He's our
you.
youth counselor.
Oh, nice.
And we've got, John McNeely here. He's our reporter.
Yeah.
Puts out the quarterly newsletter. So,
Excellent.
yeah, and I'm Ray Muirhead. We met the other
Yeah,
day.
we did yesterday, you bet. Yeah, sweet and quick, I guess. Yeah, so, yeah, you, guys got any questions? Just,
Just a kind of a touch base and
Yeah,
welcome to town and hopefully everything goes good.
I think so.
Face
It's,
to the name for me, so it's
pardon me?
face to the name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, well, that's just it, right? Yeah, for sure, so, no, it's been a good couple days. Finding my groove, that's the thing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And you went
Yeah.
to that conference, so,
Yeah, it was more for networking, which was good.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I met a lot of guys, a lot of inspectors actually, so. And then I got, all the inspectors in Portage are all close friends, so.
Yeah.
The senior inspector, he's been sending me links and all sorts of stuff too, so I'm already signed up for part 9. And for that conference at the end, the MBOA one at the end of April, I believe.
Okay.
That's all done, yeah, started filling out permits, did 2 inspections today. So, yeah, throw me at the wolves.
Well, you got a good committee on there with the Cypress planning with.
Yeah, for
Glenboro,
sure.
Cypress, North Cypress, Carter.
Yeah.
We all get along pretty good. I think
Yeah, that's
you'll
good.
find, and the CAOs all work well and stuff. So if you ever have any questions or whatever,
Yeah,
it can be daunting, I guess, when you get a heavy agenda with subdivisions and.
Well, yeah.
And all the rest of it, but we all
luckily
get,
Bev's just kind of easing me in,
Yeah.
so, but no, she's been great.
and then,
Thanks for anything.
Rachel has always said, give her a call if,
Yeah, for sure. I haven't had that yet. So tomorrow I go to Glenboro for 11:30 and then I have an inspection out there too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good, but, yeah.
you're living in Austin or?
No, I live, well, the campground is at Sydney. I live 2 miles, north of that. I actually bought my old homestead that I grew up. My dad sold it in 2008 and I bought it in 2014. I live right across from George and Margaret Jagger.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys know them.
Yeah,
so-
we
Yeah.
know them, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then I've had my own business for 8 years. Worked for my father before that. He was more or less my mentor. I got my red seal through him. And then, yeah, I've been pretty much doing it since I was like 12. So,
Shouldn't be that
it's,
big a
yeah,
step,
as soon as the tool belt will go around my waist pretty much.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be a nice change, I think.
yeah. Well, no, that's good. I'm glad you came out to
Yeah.
introduce. And
Yeah, no.
thank
do you have any questions or stuff from us or
No, not yet.
too early in the game?
It's still early. It's only my second day, so.
Yeah.
We
But,
have our meeting next week, maybe, Bill?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, next Thursday.
next Tuesday,
Tuesday,
Yeah.
right,
next Tuesday morning,
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, no, it'll be good, first one, and then, yeah, I had the RMs yesterday morning, so.
Good.
Yeah, so, yeah, that was good.
I wonder, the meeting's probably gonna be in Glenboro.
I thought they were gonna have the next ones in Carberry for a while until we get our,
Well, until we hire
Oh,
somebody.
that's right, they did them in Glenboro, then
Yeah.
they switched.
I
Right,
mean, if it's in Glenboro, it's in Glenboro.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
yeah, 'cause you're on the board, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we both are actually.
yeah. Right on, but yeah,
Well,
no,
it's, good then. If there's nothing else.
not that I can really think of as of right now, so.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Pleased to finally have you here.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I guess it was, what, 3.5 months or so, a little bit of a void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, it'll be good.
We got some interesting stuff coming down the pipe. I'm sure you maybe have heard, but we'll get past it.
No, not really.
Oh, well, Tuesday we'll talk about.
Yeah, oh, that, yeah, I know about that, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, for sure, so, but, oh well. But yeah, no, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it, so it'll be a bit of a change.
All right then. Well,
Oh, yeah,
thank you very
no.
much for coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you all too,
Yeah,
and,
you too.
be in touch.
You bet.
Yeah, thanks for.
You
Thank
betcha.
you.
Take care.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
you too. All right, we will move on to finance and accounts. We have the ACAO report. I'm sure everybody's had a chance to look at it.
Mhm.
I had a question here in regards to that, and I think Bill maybe answered it. 54,000 since December. They've been owing us,
There was a payment came through the other day.
was there?
Yeah.
Okay, must have been after she wrote the.
Yeah.
Are we waiting too long for those, or should we be concerned, or what's your thoughts?
No, because we're gonna be changing that anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good. Um,
there was something she had mentioned about an investment.
yeah, that's later on in the agenda.
Yeah, there's a resolution later to
Mhm.
reinvest.
So then she put on there, our surplus is gonna be $148,000.
That's gonna be pretty close, yeah.
That is
Oh,
good.
projected.
Yeah. And
Projected.
there's some reserve transfers in your, on
So
your.
that's something for all of us to be proud of, that we came in with that much of a surplus.
Yeah.
Sure,
Some of it's a couple things that we didn't get done, but
yeah.
there's still, it's good fiscal management.
The sidewalk one where there was $34,000 left from last year, that just gets tacked on to the next budget?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll put it through the infrastructure reserve, that's on the resolution.
and, there's an entry in there, and I think I should know what this is, but I'm drawing a blank. There's an entry on there for the water tower. And there has been something, a figure expense to it. Is that the water tower, or is that something associated with the water tower?
With the pumps in there,
It's, well,
pumps,
yeah, be the hydro probably for the,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
yeah, cause those pumps are under there for the reservoir.
Yeah, I know them ones, so that must be expensed out of the water tower.
yeah,
Okay,
Yes, I believe so.
And those, since we're just on, then that's 50/50, right? Those pumps or no? Just for the,
not all of
No,
it.
no, okay.
that's all I had. Anybody else have any
no, it was
questions?
pretty much self-explanatory.
Mhm.
All right, I will read this resolution. We have resolution number 48-25. Be it resolved, the council accept the ACAO report as presented. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Like,
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. So the other one is the financial statements. I'll read this resolution. Resolution number 49-25. Be it resolved that the financial statement for February 25th be received by council. Moved by,
like,
seconded by
Debbie.
Debbie,
Debbie. Is there any questions on the financial statement? There doesn't seem to be, there's no budget amounts in there because we're starting budgets. Does anybody have any comments or questions
I
or
did.
straightforward? Okay. I'll call the question then. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have resolution number 50-25. Be it resolved that the accounts check number 15785 to check number 15853 totaling $81,479.05 and direct withdrawals of $100,478.38 be approved for payment. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Debbie.
Bill went through them all today. I asked Bill and he said everything's legit. So any questions or?
No.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. And we have the year-end transfers. So we have resolution number 51-25. Be it resolved that council approve the following 2024 year-end transfers to reserves. $13,636 to the fire safety reserve. $34,500 to the future capital infrastructure reserve. $88,100 to the economic development reserve. $3,650 to the municipal building reserve. And $45,000 to the sewer reserve. Moved by,
like,
seconded by.
Bill,
Any questions on that? Everybody's straightforward and knows what that's all about, so. Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have investment renewal. We have resolution number 52-25. Be it resolved that council approve an investment in a GIC with Stride Credit Union of $42,195 from the general reserve at 3.6% for a 5-year term. Moved by,
Debbie,
seconded by.
Mike,
Okay, we all know what that's about. They did 3 and Stride was the best, so.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have the 2024 unaudited financials. We have resolution number 53-25, be it resolved that council approve the 2024 draft financial statements. Moved by,
Mike,
seconded by,
Bill,
same thing, questions, comments, pretty straightforward. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have bylaws. We have a procedures bylaw. You're not gonna make me read that whole thing, are you? The procedures bylaw?
No,
No,
just
good,
the resolution that's there.
good. Long-winded on that one. We have resolution number 54-25, be it resolved that bylaw 05/2025, being a bylaw to regulate the proceedings and conduct of council, hereby be read a second time. Moved by,
Debbie,
seconded by.
Bill,
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have resolution number 55-25, be it resolved that bylaw 05/2025, being a bylaw to regulate the proceedings and conduct of council, hereby be read a third time and signed by the mayor and CAO, sealed and become law. Moved by
Debbie,
Debbie,
Debbie, seconded by Mike. We read that, there was just the highlighted parts, it's just procedure, housekeeping, that sort of thing, everybody's good with all of it? Okay. So we'll have a recorded vote, Muirhead for, Kalanowitz,
4,
Ray,
4,
and Sudak.
4.
That is carried, thank you.
So, wait, remind me again what that's all about?
It's the procedures, how we conduct ourselves on council, how we do the meetings, when the meetings are, when the joint meetings are, who is the chairman and who conducts the meeting, just general housekeeping as to how we
Alright,
conduct
Yeah.
ourselves at meetings.
Procedures and
Procedures,
stuff and the laws and.
Yeah.
rules.
Sometimes we have to adjust it, sometimes if we want to change the dates or the times of meetings and that sort of stuff, but everything's still the same, second Tuesday of every month. Council.
And so the public knows when to show up.
Yeah.
When we have a meeting. So
so
they'll-
then it's just regulating everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the UAV use by fire department bylaw. We have resolution number 56-25. Be it resolved that bylaw 07/2025, being a bylaw to regulate the use of drones by the Carberry North Cypress Langford Fire Department, hereby be read a first time. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Debbie,
Any comments? Straightforward. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have unfinished business. We have the 1 and 5 intersection, which we had a meeting today about, so. Want me to take it, or you, Grady, or what do you want to do? Okay. So this is just, an extension of what we met about before. We've had 2 meetings, and this one we had today was called 2B. 2 consists of 2A, 2B. Today was 2B, and it was just to bring attention to all of the studies and that have been done with the intersection out there. We all know what they're doing, the options that have been presented to us in the past. They've narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 maybe, with they leaning towards one, but I don't know if I won't get into which one. So we just, it was just an information. They had, the engineers and the consultants on there. They had MTI represented. There was 5 of them today, I think, that met with us, 5 or 6. And, yeah, it's 2B. So they're just letting us know where we stand. And I think the third and final meeting, I mean, they have to go to all the stakeholders, of which we're one. Third and final meeting will be probably spring of 25 sometime, coming up in the next month or 2. I think they're getting close. And it sounded to me like they're doing their homework on it. I mean, that's, they're leaving no stone unturned, and we all contributed some questions and comments and concerns today towards them, and they took it under advisement, so it's a wait and see, so that's where we're at. We're waiting in spring, and that'll be the third and final meeting, and that'll be their recommendation. That then will go to MTI, Manitoba Transportation Infrastructure, and that will go up the chain and then back, and we'll see where we're at. So it's proceeding. Is that, Dick Grady? Okay. We are at by-election, and just an FYI, we have one of our candidates as an observer. Welcome. Good luck.
Okay.
What do you got on by-election, Grady?
Just as a reminder, the election's on March 18th at the drop-in center from 8 to 8. The advance poll was held this past Saturday.
Yeah, so that's March 18th at the drop-in center. Election, by-election. Okay. We have, policing. Okay, we have, policing / CSO, is that, me
Yeah,
too?
I can go on
Yeah,
that. So,
okay.
I've done some more research on the CSN program, and I put you guys saw the information here on your meeting package. I put it out to the other municipalities, basically asking them if they're on for sure no.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna affect the ones that are going to participate more than the ones that are maybe. So I've asked if it's a for sure no to let me know. And then I can adjust. The per capita costs are gonna be different if there's less participants, so.
Yeah.
There's some positive feedback from a couple. I did hear from one today that they're not participating. So that's gonna change things a little bit, but there's lots, we can change things around a lot between now and when we get going. One of the other CAOs was talking to a rep from the province, and there could be some, not challenges, but there's gonna be some uniqueness to a regional perspective, so there's gonna be a little bit of work to do with that, but I do have all the information from the province as far as application and business. We have to build a business case and things like that, so lots of work to do yet, but it is progressing, and once everybody gets back to me with whether or not they're green light on it or want more information or more time, then we'll keep going forward with it.
If you ever want the information of someone like who works boots on the ground there, like I was up this weekend, and one of the guys was in my old Italian, and he's a firefighter up there. He's one of their CSOs up there, and I saw him a few times at ACC doing their course when they all came down there. So if you ever want, some insight on something like that, because the PAWs their own CSOs. I think like 4 of them, I believe. I could be wrong, but there was about 4 or 5 of them and doing the course at ACC. So
That's good.
So when you had your breakdown there, that 119,000, that's a lot lower for the first year than I thought it was gonna be.
Well,
But then there's
significantly
that
less
question
on
mark
the
about the office, I guess.
well, and it's significantly less on the vehicle price too, like,
Yeah.
when I priced it out as a worst case scenario to go to the province, right? That was a brand new Ford Explorer at $75,000 or whatever. Now I was looking at, it says on there, the range like 17, 18.
Yeah,
With mid 100,000 kilometers, you're looking at like what we bought, right? Around 20 or less, or 17.5 was the average. So there's ways that we can do it cheaper for sure.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest savings in that compared to the first one that I did.
so my question is, I read the cover letter from the government about CAOs, and part of it was, what do we as communities or municipalities, what do we want to see in the CAO? Am I reading that right?
CSO,
Or
yeah.
CSO, what did I say?
CAO.
yeah,
well, I
already know.
CSO, I gotta get that one straight. So I don't want to make any more work for ourselves, but if we get into this, and this is gonna be quite a change to what we're used to, having the RCMP come through, is this something that we put out to the public to see what their opinion is for what they want to see? Maybe there's people out there that know or think of stuff that we're not thinking of. I don't know if you would you put it out as a survey on our Facebook? Would you just arrange a public meeting? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, definitely, it's something that you can do. Ultimately, it comes down to your decision as to what powers you want them to have and what enforcement ability they're gonna have. you know, I think bylaws, one, Highway Traffic Act is a no-brainer, Mental Health Act. Or some of the other ones, Liquor and Gaming, Cannabis Act. You know, there's a lot of things that I think can benefit the community, but I think I put it in that report of all, or in my report of all the ones that they.
Yeah.
They can enforce, and it's ultimately, it's up to either you guys or the councils that are part of the regional approach to it.
So stick to the council then, because I think you just covered everything there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's gonna be. When I was talking to one of the other CIOs on the phone about it one day, and the important thing for us to do is that all of the municipalities that are participating with the one CSO, like if it's, you know, us and Glenboro and Elton, we all have the same enforcement ability, right? We make sure that, so it's easy for the person that's doing the job, right? It's not like, oh, I'm on the north side of the road and my bylaws and my capabilities are this, and on the south side of the road,
Yeah.
it's this, right? So
Yeah.
having the same, make sure that all of our bylaws have very similar language. So it's easy from an enforcement perspective,
Yeah.
right? They're not thinking about, well, I'm in Glenboro today, so I gotta have this bylaw, and it's worded this way, and I have this ability.
They have
And
a
then-
flip chart of three.
And then,
votes,
yeah,
something in
it's
the
like,
car,
and then I go to Carberry 2 hours later and I've got, oh, well, that's different, and I can only do this, and this
Yeah.
fine is this much, if we have everything as close to the same as we can.
We don't wanna bombard them with a whole bunch of.
No, and just, we have to make it simple if we're gonna keep somebody
Mhm.
in a position like that, so.
I agree.
You're right.
It's gotta be standard,
Yeah.
gotta be.
Anybody have anything else on policing, CSO?
I did mention, I think in a email to either Grady or Teresa, that we could maybe look into establishing a reserve fund to use towards something like this.
Sure, yeah, I can do that, I can, if you guys want, I'll draft a bylaw for the next meeting to put it on and set up a reserve. That's
Might as well get it at it. and get it.
Well, this is
Yeah.
something we're probably gonna end up doing.
Yeah. Yep, sounds good. All right, and lagoon cost estimate update. Grady's got some good news on
Yeah, I like
that.
that one, I read that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I looked through that in my report, but I'm just still waiting on the official document from the engineer, but almost cut it in half.
It's awesome.
What is that? Just don't ask questions, just take it.
Well, a lot of it comes down to the material used, right?
Okay.
These guys were able to design based on using sand to build the banks. It's just a different slope ratio, compared to having to move clay from Douglas.
Yeah.
There's 75,000 yards of material had to be trucked in here, and at $1.80
Yeah.
or 75 a liter for fuel and time, and like 75,000 yards at 25 yards a shot is a lot of trucks. And that was that would be the biggest savings
Yeah.
on that one. And that 8 million approximately is including redoing the liners in the two existing cells. Like that's everything in there. The 15.6 that we got from the other one is now 8,
So now
which
we're
is almost
in
back to exactly what we put in the grant for. So we're back to our portion being 2.3 or $5 million, which still sounds like a lot, but it's a lot better. Like, it's possible for us.
Yeah.
At 16, we were out, right? We couldn't do it.
Yeah.
There's no way. So,
But we're back in the game if we want any future development in Carberry, we're back to where we need to be.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
so once we get that, then sort of the timeline would be tendering next or this fall.
Yeah.
Right? So we get that kind of prime tendering timeframe, and trying to see if there's other government, other levels of government assistance that we can use to get started next year. And we're just using our own land as a borrow pit.
Yeah.
And that one corner that really isn't gonna be used for anything anyway because of where it's located.
Yeah.
I think we've got the ability to use that as a borrow pit, so
Perfect.
Great.
maybe we'll make a man-made lake feature.
Yeah, right.
Bill can be the first one to do the backstroke.
Nope, not happening.
Okay, that's it for lagoon. Let's move on to general business. We've got the June district resolutions.
So this is just to get it on your radar to start thinking about anything that you want to push to June districts that would then go towards to the AMM convention in the fall. So if there's anything between now and our April meeting, it's gotta be in by June 1st, so if we can talk about it, just let me know. And if I need to do any research on it or put it out to other councils, and we can share it with the district and.
Okay.
They're gonna be talking about it on Friday at the caucus meeting as well, as to some resolutions that they wanna put forward, so.
Okay.
These things, just start thinking about it.
Very good. We have daycare funding request. So we have a resolution, number 57-25. Be it resolved that council support the Carberry and Area Future Child Development Committee with a grant of $3,000 to assist with legal fees. Moved by,
Debbie,
seconded by.
Like,
We all read the letter and it's straightforward. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing, were you gonna say something?
I was supposed to say, like, it just helps them keep going with the project, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have the Western District nominations. When's that coming up?
At Western Districts, there is a deadline in advance for nominations. I just can't remember off the top of my head, but if you know of anybody that you think you'd like to nominate to be.
Bill, were you thinking
I
you'd
was
like
gonna
to
say
say?
Bill Kalmowitz.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right. Suit
Thank you
yourself.
very much.
Okay. AMM Spring Convention. I'll read this resolution. We have resolution number 58-25. Be it resolved, the council approve the attendance of all council and the CAO at the Association of Manitoba Municipalities Spring Convention in Winnipeg, April 13th to 16th, 2025, with costs including registration, accommodations, mileage, and meals. Moved by,
Like,
seconded by.
Bill,
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried.
Are you gonna be able to go, Mike? Or-
probably not, evaluations and stuff. I can look and see, I'll double check and then my,
I just haven't even go for you, so.
yeah, when I, like, literally when I get home, I'll have my work.
At the same place?
No, we'll be at the Alt this time.
Where?
At the Alt Hotel, it's just across Portage from the
Oh,
rink.
Actually, my work phone's in my car, I'll look when. we
Yeah,
have
it's not
break.
not
Yeah,
a big
yeah,
rush,
yeah.
just I need to.
I'll forget if I don't do it right away, that's what I mean.
I'm gonna wait till, like, I'm gonna wait to cancel anything until the new person is
Okay.
on to see if they're available, so.
Okay.
We have the Cypress Planning District 2025 levy increase.
So this is just information at this point. There hasn't been a formal request or anything, but a heads up that it's gonna go up by 250 at the.
that's not been determined exactly,
Yeah.
but in that neighborhood.
So it's just as a. Just to let
Stay
them know.
tuned, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be, that's only about, it'll be about a $5,000
$5,000.
increase for us, so.
Board of Revision, we have resolution number 59-25. Be it resolved that council set the date for the Board of Revision to October 14th, 2025 at 7 PM during the regular council meeting. Moved by,
Like,
seconded by.
Bill,
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have the Hall generator bill. Excuse me. We have resolution number 60-25. Be it resolved that council approve the town of Carberry share of invoice number 38020 from Smart Electric in the amount of $3,569.10 to be taken from building reserve. Moved by,
Debbie,
seconded by.
like,
Any questions on that?
are we satisfied that this thing is working as it should?
I don't know, is it all done? Do we have a letter saying?
Yeah, there's
good to go?
we got the certificate of approval from Hydro a couple days last week.
Okay.
That everything is done, the permits now closed, so.
So now, just further to this. I was gonna bring it up, but I'll read it while we're doing this. Have we got a service plan in place for who's to exercise that once a month and? do
Yeah,
all-
it does it automatically, I think.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It runs on a schedule.
okay, so
But the
somebody
staff-
checked on that, like, is there an hour meter or anything that says, yeah?
The
it's running?
staff were trained on the operation of it and the testing and everything, so,
Okay,
as far as I know, everything's good now.
And on your thing, is there a timeline on the warranty on it, Grady, or is it gonna be something like that Cummins generator that we had to, or we kinda got Cummins to, in case it did break, that certified technician or something, if it does go down or something, or is it just smart that will come on?
No, if it's something breaks down or needs a regular inspections, then it'll be, there's another company.
Okay.
The guys that came and set it up.
Okay.
Okay, any more on that? Call the question, all those in favor, opposed, that is carried. We have reports, and we have a report from you, Councillor Boganis. The floor is yours.
Okay, so as I said before the meeting, I didn't get a proper meeting with Mr. McCollum, because he wasn't here, which usually be made on the day of the meetings. What I can think of off the top of my head, there's the fishing derby today, which is for any high school students. I know a couple people who went, so that's taking place today. They do like a fishing competition, ice fishing out in Lake Winnipeg, I think. So that happened today.
They caught, out of 1,200 kids, they caught 12 fish.
Oh,
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a great fishing day by the sound
Wow.
of it, so. But there was 1,200 kids for provincial ice fishing today. Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
Day too.
sounds good. McDonald's made a lot.
It's a lot of last places.
Yeah, cause they were, when we were coming back from the hospital, they were just unloading the bus, so I stopped and asked where the banner was and they all just.
What else you got, Victor?
And then next Tuesday, there's the ski trip happens, so lots of high school students will be gone that day. The day before that's on Monday, there will be a pep rally for volleyball, or heard that from some of my student council friends. And then also, the first student from Carberry has been accepted into provincial honor band. So congratulations to Aurora Elmhurst for being the first student from Carberry to participate in the provincial honor band, which is being held in Winnipeg sometime in the next couple months.
Okay, so I just want to step back, provincial what?
Provincial honor band.
Oh, honor band, oh, they said auto band, okay, honor band, okay, good.
Who was it?
Aurora Elmhurst.
Oh, okay, congratulations to her.
Yeah.
That's the first time ever.
Yeah, first time ever, at least that's what I heard from Mrs. Burke.
Well,
Yeah.
That's for
That is
Shandar's
Yeah,
daughter.
one of the twins, yeah.
Oh, really, good for her.
well,
And that's about all I have right now.
Good, all right, thank you.
Good, thank you.
We have the CAO report. I think we all read that. You know, basically, we've been meeting with everybody from Tom, everybody around, so any questions on the CAO report? Straightforward. We've all read the EDO report.
There's
Good
a
report.
couple things just to confirm. March 25th is the After 5 event, Mike.
Mike,
yeah.
And,
I put it in my phone.
from 5 to 6, I think it's here.
yeah,
And, yeah, so that'll be the chamber after 5, kind of meet with the council. And then if anybody's willing to work shifts at the fair, just let
right,
Carol.
yeah, I seen that, so.
For sure, the Friday, Saturday needs to be covered, and then
Around Saturday,
anywhere else.
One of the days I told her I'd help out.
cause she'll need some help with tear down or whoever's there. She won't be there Saturday, will she?
No,
Well, somebody
I can maybe
Friday.
see you about Friday after work, but let me look.
Cause I might be able to do Saturday, but if there's not much to tear down, I could probably do Saturday. I'll talk to her tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, and like, oh, as far as I know, I'll be around. I can come in and help too, so.
what's the date?
Was it 20?
It's the 31st, right straight through till April. Whenever the
April
fair's
4th,
on.
5th or something like that.
Till the 5th, yeah.
Yeah,
And the
the
30th, the setup's on the Sunday, the 30th, and then takedowns, the end of it is at 6 o'clock on the 5th, I think.
There's 2 years smiling.
Hmm.
You're smiling, you wanna come and help.
He likes the
don't
winter
I'm
fair.
zoned out, that's what's happening.
you? Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, the After 5 event and Royal Manitoulin Fair, Public Works report, we've all read that. Any questions on that?
No, I just got one, we went and bought one for the hydrants, like, little Milwaukee pump, the battery powered. I just noticed that they were trying to get rid of the flooding and stuff or whatever. I don't know. I know there's no serious using some pump. I don't know, maybe something we thought about buying one of those, like little Milwaukee pumps here for like $300. Works amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, I just didn't know if maybe you wanna pass it along with Scott. We just bought the other day for the, we have to empty the hydrants at the site. They don't drain. So it's a little red Milwaukee puts a 18-volt battery in, costs like $300 and it is all, you have to plug it in, cause I noticed the other day at the school, they're trying to get rid of the water and they had like a sump pump and then a generator running or whatever. I didn't know if maybe if they need one of those things. I didn't know they even made them like that until the other day, so I just thought I'd mention that. They're doing a good job trying to get rid of the water, especially with this freezing and thawing, freezing.
got a couple of plots we gotta take care of, but.
Yeah.
Once it warms up again, they'll be working on getting.
We got, they saved us some money by the sounds of it, Willie working and some of them on fixing some of the stuff up there, so.
In that report, there was an estimate for redoing their lunchroom and that.
Oh, yeah, I guess
We will have to discuss
that'll
that.
be in
Yeah,
the
bunch
budget.
of discussion, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Well, I'm thinking about this. I know it's on a different topic, but it just occurred to me when you talked about that little pump. Does the Public Works have any air moving fans? The reason I ask is when I took that shop vac of mine over with the water leak at the hospital, it was getting in all the way under Linda's office and it'll be underneath. So I'm just wondering if they have fans or need fans to blow and dry that out in case mold becomes.
I would suspect that they'll have a restoration company out there tonight already.
Okay,
I would hope they do anyway.
Yeah.
Like
The only-
with all those places in the company, with all the fans, dehumidifiers and everything, so.
Okay.
The only fan I can remember was like that one fan for ventilation, but in the sewer confined space. But other than that,
but yeah, they'll probably be covered with the restoration. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, committee reports, protective services. Anything on that? I don't have anything on that.
fire department?
Yeah.
We were at our,
You guys had
The
your
joint
the
meeting.
same night, so.
Okay.
As far as protective services, like it was in the report, Grady's report that we met with Clint Wickander from our CMPs, so we had a good meeting with him and spelled out what was what. He was good. He's willing to help us with these CSO jobs and work with them and help us get set up, so. That's all I got on that. Public Works, well, we just talked about that. Buildings, we're having a buildings committee meeting on Thursday. And we're also having a waste management meeting on Thursday. Archives, I haven't got anything on archives. I don't think they had a meeting.
Next one's coming up end of March. I think.
Yeah,
So,
March
did I come
26th.
to you?
and if you get busy, Debbie, just give me a heads up. I'll go again
okay,
for you.
all right, thank you.
Arts Council, anything on Arts Council?
Yeah, we had a meeting February 26th. They have lots going on. They have stained glass classes. One was done last weekend by Pat Graham and she wants to continue on with these. These classes are only 3 people per class
Okay,
because it's quite intense with how they make these things. The glass they use is very expensive.
yeah,
And also the copper foiling that goes in between the glass is also. So I think that when we talk about budget, the Arts Council will be asking both RM and our town council for, I think, an extra 10,000 to their budgets. So, and it's for things like this. It's for things like the BU choral that they want to have come out. I
Right.
don't know how intense you want me to go into this
no, just,
report.
yeah, well, kinda, yeah,
Okay, they have some upcoming events, Pi Day, March 14th, if it goes ahead, as long as they have all the registrations for these. Children's Business Fair will be May 20th, Handmade Market for kids to sell their things is November 15th. They had a cookie decorating class February 13th. Upcoming a piano recital March 22nd. They will be applying for the CACF grant. Have a wellness evening planned on April 24th, and their AGM is coming up as everybody else is meeting on March 17th. Let me just look at it.
I think he said, 7th.
Yes, March
Is that like
seventeenth
a-
at 7 o'clock.
Sorry, is that like a big sale like at the hall?
The handmade market.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not really a bake sale. Kids make things
Oh,
so that
okay.
they can sell them.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
A little
okay.
bit of cash.
Yeah, cause I
for
thought there was something with
Christmas.
the food inspector or something that you can't,
Well, it was to do with the hall and the
like cooking or something at the hall,
ban
right?
for the,
No, this is the kids that sit up
But
at
this
the
is the
mall.
kids.
and
Oh, okay, okay.
They pre-make their little crafts.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they
cool,
bring it.
okay, I get it,
it's like
okay,
a,
okay.
you know,
I
the,
went to the one.
Oh,
last year.
okay.
yeah, it's.
Maybe I was mixing that, maybe, sorry,
Yeah.
maybe I'm mixing that up with something else, so,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, so they're busy.
Yep.
They're very busy.
Thank you. Cemetery,
Nothing to report. We haven't had a meeting for a while.
no, we chose the flowers.
Right, it's good.
And,
Flowers are ordered.
From there, there's nothing going on. I think, Callie's working on some tenders for seeing about getting a washroom out there in that, building, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens there. Museum, anything on museum?
Yeah, so I was at they had their AGM and stuff, and whatever, and, I was gonna bring it up, but might as well do it here, or just, I said we do some research into. Seems like and then unless I can get more info, like that's why we're here, about the furnace, like, seems like the furnace keeps giving issues and stuff like that.
We're gonna get tenders to redo it.
Yeah, okay, yep, and that's what that's what I already knew, so it's again, just bringing it up here, to say I talked about it, so. That's one thing, so.
Okay, good. Handy van seniors,
The budget is, done, I believe, and, what else has been going on? That's about it that I know of.
library, anything on the library? We seen the regional library report that was out in the package, so.
Okay, and the Carberry North Cyprus library report, we had our meeting on February 26th. We have a balance in the account here of 1567.94, and it's been the same balance for months. So Lisa Adrianson made a motion to close this said account and amalgamate it with our account in Brandon that's designated for Carberry. And then that account gets audited and we don't get the charge for that. So that's wonderful that way. And Lori has tickets available now for her mystery dinners. So if anybody's interested in going to, it's like going to be like a clue game with a dinner. So it sounds like a lot of fun. She's put a lot of work into that as well. There is one correspondence that we got from the Brandon one about books being pulled in the school libraries because of political background. And they didn't know whether it was going to overflow into the community libraries. That has not happened yet, but it's a provincial direction. And of course, Lori's really busy at the library after school with all of her youth membership and Friends of the Library and reading days. And I think that's everything. They've got plans for flower beds out front and planters and a bench and stuff for the springs.
Health action.
We had a meeting, first Tuesday of this month. We had the visitors, Karen Thomas and Missy Lounsbury. Karen Thomas is from Prairie Mountain. Missy Lounsbury is the acute care team manager here. They came for a visit to give us the latest news from them. NEPA has lost their LPN. Of course, they moved the whole thing to Steinbach or someplace. Our committee's still looking for a fundraising chair. We're still looking for 2 at-large members, of which one will be the fundraising chair. And comment came up about the calendar for the ER has to be easier to access. So that was from my notes from the meeting.
Okay, question, you looking to like maybe a QR code for that?
I think it's possibly for
It's,
maybe seniors.
yeah, the
Finding
seniors
it.
that don't know how to use the QR code.
You have other, it's like, so you can either click on the QR code
Right.
like online, or you can take a photo with your phone. It's, can be both, right?
But what if they don't have a phone, a cell
Well,
phone?
then it'd be online, right?
I guess so.
Again, maybe they'll print this, John, but I think sometimes this calendar isn't done for the last possible.
Oh,
month.
and lots of
okay.
times it's changed. It
Yeah.
goes out every month at the beginning or before the end of the month. It goes out. But there's so many changes in between
Yeah.
because physician not availability, staffing not availability. That's why it's.
So a printed version just
It-
wouldn't work because
No,
it's too
because
much.
it changes
Right.
too
Yeah.
often. And it's not just Carberry's that does that. It's everybody in the region.
Okay.
Anyway, that was from my notes from the meetings.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. I have one other thing
Yeah.
for the Carberry Library. We don't have a community representative for that or for the Western one either. Chris did not attend, so
Okay.
we're gonna have to look for somebody else to attend
So
that.
is that something we could, put out on our social media page?
Yeah,
Or
I think so for both our committees.
for this, if anybody out in the town of Carberry wants to sit on the library committee,
Yeah.
drop in and put your name in.
Halifax,
And have action.
in that large position on ours, so it can be somebody from out in the country or town.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
we need
Doesn't
volunteers.
matter, we just need somebody.
All right, we'll move on to planning. Our planning meeting is, like we said earlier, next Tuesday, and we just hired a new planning officer who we just met earlier, so there's nothing really more on planning, is there, Bill?
No,
Rec board, well, that in and of itself is, we right now don't have a rec board that I know of. Maybe one person left, I haven't heard. I guess we'll put out feelers if anybody, if we're gonna reestablish the rec board, we'll put out feelers, and if anybody out there wants to sit on the rec board, please put your name forward. And we're going through a bit of a change up now when it comes to recreation with everything that's gone on, so it might change for the better. And so will the rec board, so,
Mhm.
you know, what the positions are and what it all entails, the whole bit, so. If anybody out there is interested in sitting on the rec board from the town of Carberry's side anyways, please put your name forward. White Mud? Who's on White Mud?
It is me.
You, anything on White Mud?
Please use, pardon?
Sorry, I'm just waiting to update them with contact information and stuff. And,
Oh, okay.
when we get our new person and we settle out the committees and that.
Because that was the second on that one with John's.
Yeah, they only have his contact info though, so
Oh, okay,
they
okay.
sent me a
So
sheet.
that's why I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
They don't give me, like, contact here anyways.
Daycare.
Well, we were at another joint meeting, the daycare one, but, there's movement on the daycare, moving real good, so.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen some stuff on, social media and so. Looks like they're going right to town on it, and kudos to them.
Yeah, good.
Drop-in center, that's me. I was at the last drop-in meeting, and it's just, everything's routine. They're just moving forward, trying to get some stuff. They secured the tender for painting the whole inside of the drop-in center. Just ongoing maintenance. One of the things that they want to do is they want to replace the, commercial dishwasher in the kitchen. And the lowest price they could get was between $8,000 to $10,000 just for a dishwasher. So I had some connections from my previous days as a restaurant owner. I made a few phone calls. I found a guy in Winnipeg that reconditions dishwashers, commercial dishwashers, and he gave us a quote for $4,000. That's reconditioned, gone over, delivered, installed. So I forwarded it to Callie and Grady, and I effectively passed the buck on that one. Where it stands, I don't know. By the way, he emailed me the other day wondering where we stand on it, so I was gonna contact Callie or something. I don't know if somebody wants to reach out. And I also sent a copy of it to Tracy Bird. She's our chairman, so. As far as drop-in center, yeah, just continuing right along. That's all I got for that.
happy with the water apparently.
Yeah, they're happy all around. I think things have got done, they're getting done.
Well, no, a dishwasher would stand a chance with soft water.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was hard water, was iron in it before.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
So that's it. I will read this resolution, number 61-25. Be it resolved that all reports be received by council as provided or presented. Moved by,
Like,
seconded by,
Bill,
all in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Thank you.
In the future, do you want to report from the splash park or does that fall under recreation?
I was gonna bring that up around the table. We could put that on. The other one we could put on too is, we refer to it as the White House. That's ours now, just any ongoing what we've been
Mhm.
doing at the White House. So I was gonna say a few things about it, but maybe we might add them on to the
Okay.
reports. just
Do you
in
want a
future.
quick kind of synopsis? I know we've just moved these ones, or do you want it for next meeting?
Well, let's wait till around the table. and-
Okay,
And we'll do
sounds good.
that.
Yep.
Okay. We're at communications right now, and we are at MGAS assessment.
So that was in your meeting package, just a update on the, how much it costs us for assessment services for 2025.
Okay.
I think it's the same as last year.
Okay. And we had the Westman Regional Library draft meeting minutes. We've already been through that. Westman Wellness, a thank you was sent out. That was for the use of the space downstairs. Okay. Are we in with NCL on that, or is that just an us?
That's just us.
Cause I see they addressed it to NCL and us, so the letter.
Oh, yeah, I know it's just us.
Okay, wanted to clarify that. We have resolution number 62-25, be it resolved that all correspondence be received by council, moved by,
Debbie?
seconded by,
Mike,
all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. So we will go around the table. Who starts?
I got one thing, if you don't mind.
You go, we'll start.
I guess with what's going on, I don't know if we can look at, like, if we're buying, like, obviously it can't be like a financial burden to try to, but try our best to maybe buy Canadian for now.
I was gonna bring that up on my round the table.
Oh,
You beat me
okay.
to
Oh,
it.
yeah, paid him.
So like, just if we're purchasing something like, you know, or whatever, I know we have our policies and stuff and whatever, but if we can try to, you know.
Yeah.
Buy Canadian, especially with equipment and stuff, like, I know it's really hard, but if, you know, just that little bit extra step for now for us, you know, just with what's going on.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd maybe try that.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Might as well get it out there. Shop Canada wherever you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, and then to everybody in town, like, again, shop local, but shop
Yeah.
Canadian, and even for our, you know, for buying, or whatever, keep think whatever, right? Like, maybe we just do that little bit at one step further for research, now it's easiest, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just, again, everything's, you know, about the dollars, cents and time, but, you know, in the end, it's good to, whatever, so, I just thought I'd bring that one thing up, that's all.
Anything else?
That's it.
Debbie, anything?
Just if you want me to touch base on the Carberry Splash Park,
Okay.
they're very, very busy. They have a catering job coming up on September 21st, possible, not confirmed yet. September 21st for catering, security, for a social at the Carberry Hall coming up in November. The gun club happened, I think that was last weekend, where they were asking for donations. The gun club offered to put up envelopes for anybody that wanted to donate to the splash park. They have their pork fundraiser, as you probably already had seen. This meeting took place March 6th, and that night at the meeting, there were 46 tenderloin packages, cases ordered, and 40 ribs. And I know they had lots more orders in after that. They are having the social meeting coming up. Yeah, the hoedown. And they've got prep in place for all of that. They're having a big flower sale for the recital this coming weekend, so there's packages of flowers that could be ordered ahead of time. And they have a van, probably a van plus full for flowers that were purchased and will be, picked up on Saturday, so.
This is for what this weekend?
It's the
Dance.
dance recital. Yeah,
It's sold out too.
yes,
My
yeah,
grandfather's in that.
and they're having two programs, one in the morning, and one in the afternoon.
They have 300
Oh.
for each show.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
like it's a big event.
for them.
Yeah, they've done very well.
Kids do all
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Thank you, Debbie.
not a problem.
Is that all you got? Okay,
Thank you.
Bill, you got anything?
the, I'm just glad to see that the town crew has got the ditches all cleaned up and they're getting ready for the water, which is gonna happen sooner or later.
Yeah, hopefully sooner.
Other than that, I don't really have anything this month.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Okay, my turn. I got a couple things. Brady, are we allowed to mention the stride thing, or is that still under wraps? Just leave it? Yeah, I'll leave it. Just for your information, myself at one point and Grady at one point went out to Riverbend School. We read storybooks to the kids.
Oh,
at school.
good.
I think, Grady, did you dress up as a fireman and?
Yeah, I took a truck out and.
Took the truck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were very well attended. Kids were excellent. Just further to, we call it the White House, the one for, healthcare. It's continuing, it's getting used all the time. The washing machine in the basement wasn't working. Got a hold of Orv. I met him over there. He had it figured out that our pressure switch in our pump wasn't working. So I got Mr. Ronan over there to fix it up. So he's got everything working and it's good. The washing machine's good, pump's good. I guess there's more water now and you said it's loosening everything
Yeah, I
up.
just plugged the fill valve in the toilet with manganese because it's so much pressure. to
Oh.
pump everything. So I had to change the fill valve in the toilet.
Yeah.
Last Thursday or Thursday, I did that, so.
This is ours and this is just our house.
Just
This is ours, yeah.
So is that something like the foreman can just kind of?
They've been over there doing some stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to change out some taps. so.
Okay.
Just whoever, there's no really, official committee kind of thing, but it's just whoever has time or whatever. So just to make sure it's good. And
I'll hop on that, ready, like I'll, for that
Yep.
White House, like, cause I'm not really around during the day, so I can take some of that.
it's fairly straightforward. It's just a 2-bedroom house, so there's not too much to go wrong, but if something does, I'll keep
Mhm.
everybody in mind, so. Yeah, and like I say, it's being used. There's always somebody there, so it's good. I think it was a good investment.
That's awesome.
What else have I got?
Oh, sorry, on that, Ray, I
Yeah.
was, like, again, when I was up north on the weekend, someone had talked about healthcare and how other towns were getting the healthcare because they're doing these things. So I said, oh, so are we? And they're like, oh, really?
Mhm.
For you, man. So,
It's good.
I had museum. I'm gonna go in camera for that one. Oh, yes, I wanted to ask our local school board trustee. Is what I'm reading correct? Is Beautiful Plains School Division gonna do a double-digit increase?
Actually, the mill rate is going down by 2.7%. Somebody,
Well, that's good. You said that.
yes.
Decrease.
No, what happened
You read it
was,
in Brandon Sun, I'm assuming?
did they get it with the?
Front
I didn't
page of
realize
Brandon
it under
Sun.
the sun. There was a piece of research done badly by, the Free Press.
Right.
And, we heard that it had, they'd said that 14%, 14.7. That figure you'll probably recognize as the raise in, assessment.
Yeah.
That's what that figure was. They said, "That's gonna be it."
Yeah, they said it was gonna be an increase.
No, in fact, that means that we will be able to decrease
Good, I
the
got,
actual mill rate.
the proposed mill rate has gone down.
Yeah, okay, good.
Hey, clarify
Got it
that.
from Shannon.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, John.
Yeah, no, just to clarify that.
Right on.
because,
That's good.
maybe Brandon Sun should put a retraction in. or
Yeah.
something.
We
Reckon.
sincerely hope so. What happened, it went out on the, free presses, online,
Mhm.
but didn't hit type. We got it squashed before it went to press. So it's not in the free press paper, but they were the source of, you know, the
Yeah.
a misinterpretation of a rack of figures that somebody misinterpreted.
Mhm.
Very good. Back on track.
Yeah, no, the 14.7 you guys are actually charging.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got. You got anything, Krister?
Yeah, two things. So from the last council meeting, Miss McCall was curious about this too. I had the daycare is moving and they needed land confirmation. No? No? Okay, so I wrote that
I
down.
talked to,
Yeah.
Mr. McConnell about that too, or Mr. McConnell about that.
Okay. And then also that was the like the millwright cost is going down 7.2%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.7.
That's it? That's all you got? You got anything, Grady?
Yeah, a couple quick things. Lots of, they'll put out for a budget meeting coming up in the next couple weeks. We did have a request for an additional speed reader board. Just the school zone sounds like it continues to be an issue and that seems to help, so. That's something we can talk about in budgets as well. And was speaking with the owner of the, mobile home park in the east end of town, and there's gonna be some cleanup action happening there this spring, so.
On, what'd you say? Okay, good.
Yeah, Market Street, mobile home park, he's spoken to the owners of the unsightly and they should be remedied, this summer.
Good.
This spring, not summer, spring, summer.
Shit.
Oh, sorry, I had one last, because you mentioned the school and the things that I meant to say, like, to anybody watching this or in the future, the parking along the school zone, it's marked for times for people picking up their kids, dropping their kids off. So those that decide to park there for hours and hours and on end and use the bus loop as their thing, think again before we get some kind of people in there start ticketing people or something, or towing. Cause they lately been going there to pick up kids and there's like a red Ford parked there all the time for a few hours in the evening. And then with the ice, it's hard to get around. And then other people are using the bus loop to park and wait for people too. So, that parking's there, it's marked, it's timed for a reason. You know, young families coming out with young kids. So if you're gonna park there, go park somewhere else.
Good. You have anything else, Grady?
No.
Okay, I had a couple things here, I forgot. When you speak about, ice, just gonna say out to everybody, be careful out there. It is that time of year, it's treacherous and it's slippery everywhere. Especially when we get these little skips of snow and you don't know what's under it, so be careful. Our sanding trucks, they're out all the time, I'm assuming, Grady, that.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to do. Yeah. The streets are all pretty much melted off. It's a sidewalk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
streets aren't bad.
I was gonna ask, are these tariffs that they're threatening, is that gonna affect us anyway, like in regards to fuel, equipment, anything like that? Is that something we need to be concerned about?
Yeah, I think everybody needs to be concerned about it.
Okay, so for budgeting, we need
Yeah.
to take a
Yeah.
look at that, so,
Equipment.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot on the books for this year, but, yeah, I mean, he's talking about putting up to 50% on steel and aluminum.
Mhm.
So eventually somebody's gotta pay for that.
Yeah. And just an FYI, we haven't got the performance review done yet or the wages, but we're gonna do it. It's just everything's been so busy the last week and a bit, as you well know, so we'll get to it. Good. And that's all I got. Do you have anything, John?
We have an announced our budget, as we've just said.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad as that.
Good, good.
Our budget is over 30 million for the first time.
Wow.
But,
Can the town borrow some money out there? or-
Mhm.
no, that's us being as careful as we can.
Bro, it sounds like you guys can fix up that, lake you got in the back of your school then, the baseball diamond.
There was a
Perfect,
shot.
thanks, John.
Oh, you said you had a leak behind the school.
The other
Alright.
thing I think we need to let everybody know about is that, the COVID numbers are up again.
Okay, good.
And,
I mean-
wash your hands,
Yes.
wash your hands, wash your hands. I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
It's just,
about tariff.
yeah,
COVID,
yeah,
so,
like we
Come on.
just need to,
We got this rotten cold thing
Yeah.
going around. It's just hanging on.
Respiratory.
We've still got some stuff going
Yeah.
on with mine. It's been a couple, 3 weeks
yeah.
now.
And it's a terrible, virus as well. So the best thing is to wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. I think we have some in-camera stuff to discuss, so if nobody has anything else around the
We're done.
table, we're done.
Yeah.
So I will read this, in-camera one. We have resolution number 63-25, be it resolved, the council move in-camera under section 1523B2 of the Municipal Act to discuss personnel matters. Moved by,
Like,
seconded by.
Bill,
All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried.